Hey guys, it's Daff, aka the Curvy Jersey. I'm getting Lady V in, and Lily, just so you know, is under the weather. She is under the weather, so we're gonna keep her in our prayers. And she is getting better. She had the flu, and so she's getting better. I hope you can hear me because I don't know because I'm the only one on. So I'm not sure if you can hear me or not, but we'll soon see when Lady V gets on. If you can hear me, that's my only dilemma. But hopefully you guys had a great week thus far. This is Hump Day. Oh, and I guess Lady V, she's trying to get there. She's trying to get there. She is getting there. Lady V, you want to come up to the platform? Because I see you driving. Lady V trying to, she is determined. She loves y'all, and because it's a life that she's trying to work her way to make sure that she gets here on the platform. So I'm going to go on and bring her up because I hope that y'all can hear me. Okay. I'm unplugged.
Can everybody hear me? Hello? I can't hear you.
Kirby Jersey, I'm going to repeat it again just in case y'all didn't hear me. Lady V over here to the left, she is the beautiful Lady V. And
Hey,
she
everybody.
loves, like I said, she loves Purpose for Life. She loves um, and being online with you guys so much. She is trying her best to get from where she is to get to this platform. And I appreciate her. While she's doing that, Lily today is under the weather. So she will not be on the platform. So you guys couldn't hear me before, but you can hear me now, I think. And so she is doing better. So if you just keep her in your prayers, I appreciate it. She had the flu, but she is getting better and better every day. Thank you, the people that are joining, because I can see some people are on the platform and online. We appreciate you joining us. Today's topic is going to be interesting. We're going to let she's going to join us in a few seconds. Um, whenever you're ready, just let me know. Hi, Miss Johnson. How are you? Hey, Lily. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Thank you, Jamaica, for joining us. All right. So, again, today's topic is the power of walking away. And so, I came on live a few minutes ago, and just to encourage everybody to join us for tonight, Lady V is our moderator for this evening, and I'm just trying to hold that fork down while she gets settled because she had a little delay that she couldn't get to her set destination at the time that I put on the program for today at 7:30, and I appreciate her for pushing through. Lily said the cough is real. Jamaica, I'm well. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much, Jamaica. Jamaica, I appreciate you really jumping on. I really do. And again, I want you guys to start thinking about the topic, the power of walking away. Now, I just think about the topic. It's so powerful. Lady V, are you? I don't see nothing over there. Are you ready, or is it just black? Because are you hearing us at this point?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Give me just a second.
Okay, she's getting settled, but I'm gonna say this: Christmas time is around the corner. Before we get to the topic, let's talk about Christmas a little bit. Christmas time's around the corner, and how many of y'all are ready? Jamaica, Alicia, are y'all ready for Christmas? Because it's coming. Ready or not, here it comes. You can't hide. Gotta find you, make it happen. So, it's gonna come. Now, as for me, I'm not ready. I said I was gonna get ready early, but I'm not. So, we do have a topic today. I'm just kind of trying to, you know, work my way through a little bit of preliminaries before we get started. So I appreciate you guys' patience and waiting. And just my favorite time of the year, Alicia said, it is mine too, but I need to start being more strategically ready. Next topic needs to be the power of being ready. Because, you know, it's better to be ahead of the game than behind the game. Can you agree? Still the most wonderful time of the year. It is, and that it is. I'm going to say this. I am not, I think I bought my niece gift. I bought my Secret Santa gift at work, but I have not done anything else, nothing else. We have to enjoy the moments. We do. And sometimes we don't do that. Sometimes we do not do that. We're so busy working because that's what I know I've been doing. Jamaica, I know you've been doing that too. Alicia, I know you've been running around. And Von's definitely been running around. So it's like work, family, exercise. Like this week, I only got 2 days in so far. Like it's got to be a priority for that exercise, that health, because the power of, you know, being ready ahead of the time. And it's a little procrastination in there sometimes. It's a little just you are busy, we are busy, but sometimes we just gotta realize that we got to set some of that time to actually get things done ahead of time. So that's going to be one of the things that I'm not going to wait to the New Year's resolution. I'm going to start it now. So I think we got Lady V. Lady V, thank you for stretching yourself. I appreciate it. I do. Love you always. So the audience want to hear your voice.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Sorry for the delay. Had to make it home from work.
Yeah.
So, we are talking about the power of walking away. So, sometimes we get into relationships, and I think that it could either be work relationships, marital, family relationships, and I had to ask myself, why do I hold on to those relationships when they're toxic? And so we want to talk today about toxic relationships. What keeps us from walking away? What makes us stay in relationships that we know is not working? So what do you think, Daphne?
Honestly, I've been in that situation, Lady V, Von. I've been in that situation. And now that I'm looking back on it, I'm just upset with myself. You know, I took too long to make a move.
Yeah.
You know, and I've done it. I will say in my life, I've only done it two times, and two is too many, you know? So the last time recently I've done it, I was in a relationship, sort of, kind of, if I might say. And it wasn't going anywhere. It was more like one-sided. It was more like you're saying one thing, but I'm seeing a different thing. You know what I mean? And you're saying you're ready and then you're not ready. And then you're saying you're ready, but you're not acting like you're ready. And I was like, still holding on for 5 years off and on, not consecutively, but off and on. That's not good. We should not go back, you know? And so I would say it's not a good thing to hold on. And what made me hold on, I think that's what you was asking, was I thought I was in love. I thought it would change. I thought it would benefit me. I thought we could benefit each other. I thought it would alter, it would change. It would turn out the way I thought that it was supposed to be.
So you're saying that you stayed in the relationship because you felt like maybe the relationship would have changed, maybe this person would have changed, or was like, I think that, and I can use myself for an example. Sometimes I've held on to relationships that I knew that I had to let go of, mainly because I think that there's a little bit of fear of being by myself. The what ifs, if I let this go, then I'm not, sometimes we say a bad relationship is better than no relationship at all.
Mhm.
And a lot of times I think that for me, it was just me being comfortable and satisfied within myself
Mhm.
and knowing that if I walk away from this, I'm going to be okay. I didn't feel like it really had anything to do with the other person, because when we allow people to be in our life and we know it's not a good relationship, then we have to turn it back on ourselves.
And you're right. You're right. It's nobody's fault but my own. Um, I can't blame him. He basically was doing what he do. It's up to me to preserve my feelings, my emotions. It's up to me to protect my heart. And so at the time though, Von, at the time, I couldn't see that. My friends, you guys, I know you know what I'm talking about. You were seeing, he was like, oh no, that's the one. Even Derek. Derek was like, that ain't the one, that ain't the one, let him go, let it go. And it ain't even letting him go. He was already let go, detached, pretty much. Because he was there, but then he wasn't there. He was there, then he wasn't there. No, he already made his decision, really. It was up to me to make that move and make it solidly. And I did not make it for at least consecutively 5 years. Holding on to love where I thought love was. And sometimes we have to value ourselves a little bit more, because in our minds we thinking we are, but we're really not.
But I think that, okay, now, now I'm just going to say this. When is the cutoff? Because 5 years is a long time.
Mhm.
5 years in any relationship, whether it's work or um, whether it's friendship or whatever it is, when is the cutoff? Because 5 years to me is a little extensive.
It is.
Like, you have that first year that you're touching base with each other, and you're pretty much going, okay, when a relationship is not working. Like, at the age that we are, we know when it's not working. You can feel the vibes, you can feel, the setbacks and everything. If I call you on the phone and you give me the run around, or you act like you don't want to talk to me, there's always the red flags and the vibes. So 5 years, I
Off
don't.
and on, 5 years, off and on.
But I
And
think
it was
that,
me. It was me. As I look back, it was me, Von. It was me.
right, but then I gotta flip it then, and I gotta say, like, and I'm just asking the audience, what's going on with a person that will stay in that relationship for so long, because it mentally drains you. I've been in that situation, and I said I would never do it again, which is why I'm quick to say, if it's not working, it's just not working. So, because time is a lot, and you put an effort into something for that long of a time, even on a job, if I'm not benefiting from the work environment, and I know I'm going to work every day and I'm dreading going to work, it's time to do something different.
Right.
I'm not going to give a company 5 years of my life and I'm
Right.
miserable.
Right. And so LaShawn Arnold, thank you for joining us, LaShawn, and thank you for inputting and giving us some feedback. When you're mentally ready to let it go within yourself, I guess that's when she's saying you will let go. And it's true. We can talk to each other, Vaughn. Y'all can hit me in my head, tie me down, and I can tie you down with whoever the situation is, until the person is ready and realize this is toxic. This is not cool. This is not right. I'm not being treated the way I'm designed to be treated, and I should be treated. Until you really realize your worth is completely, you're gonna stay in it.
I agree. But then my question is, why? Because there is a why to that. It's not just until you're ready. then I have to establish why, because then when I get into the next relationship, it's a pattern, so I would have to establish why it is that way. Like, why did I give up the control over my life and allow a person to be in my life that didn't treat me right? So it's yes, I do agree that it is a choice and it's when you're ready, but are we establishing why? Like, why did you stay in it? What's going on with the person that makes them stay in it for that long? Because if you don't establish the why, then I believe that you'll have repeated incidences that is going to occur because you never establish why.
Well, like my reason, I don't can say mine, but the audience, Yvonne is probably asking you guys, open up the floor. Why do you think people stay? LaShawn Arnold said the fear of starting over. This is the one main key. It's fear. And she's right. That's a good one. It's true. Fear. Hey, Righteous Nutrition. Thank you for joining us.
So I think it's a little bit of fear, maybe some low self-esteem, low self-worth.
Maybe. Yeah, love is a big part. Now you get brainwashed with love sometimes. You don't think rationally all the time when you got that toxic type of love.
Yeah. Lack of boundaries.
Boundaries is a good one too. Self-worth, all of that is definitely. And I try to get it out of my head now, but I was like, man, I could kick myself around for, going back and forth. And just thinking it still is hope that something will be perfect. You know what I'm saying? And realizing after at least the second time, it ain't gonna happen.
Well, I think my question is then, what is the steps or what are the signs of knowing that you have to walk away? Because I don't think that it gets it starts with the first week or the second week. Normally it's a progressive thing. So when do you start looking at the signs and knowing that it's time to walk away?
Wow.
And I think that is the thing. It's noticing the signs and then making the preparations, because a lot of times the signs are there and I always say before a person hits you, they are aggressive towards you. So that aggressiveness builds up. You already know the difference in we're having an altercation as far as like we're disagreeing, and when I'll use a man, when he's just literally that close to hitting you. So when you notice that, when do you say, wait a minute, wait? Why do you wait until he gets to the place that
you're right,
he's going to abuse you, or he's going to? Why do we wait? Why do we let it go that far? Like, when do we look at the signs, and what are the triggers? What are the flags? Because I think that a lot of people don't pay attention to the red flags. And I like what Lee said, it's an emotional attachment. So a lot of times I think that we get emotionally attached to people who are not emotionally attached to us.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing, and it's not just in man and female relationship. It could just be a friend. You meet a friend and you desperately wanting a friend and you putting all the time into it. And now she done became your bestie in 5 minutes, and she not really your bestie, but you putting all this effort into it. And so Leisha said, when you become uncomfortable with how you feel when you're with the person, exactly.
That's one reason. That's one trigger. That's one flag. I would say there's some other flags though. I can go on experience, and I can go on what I've seen others go through as well. And one thing is, when they don't put that energy in the way you put it in, if that energy is not leveled off or a little higher than yours, it's something wrong. Because they're going to put that energy in. They're going to put that work in. And anything that you do, you labor, you work. And if they're not putting that energy and that work in, that's a sign. If you got to sit there and beg, borrow, and steal, hey, why you don't come see me? Hey, can we go out? When you putting that initiation in more than they are, that's a problem.
I totally agree. I believe that it has to be two-sided. I believe that if a person is interested, even your family members, I don't really make it a habit of asking people why they don't call me. That I call, I just don't, like, because I feel like if you want to talk to me, you'll pick up the phone and you'll call me. I pick up the phone to call you. So if you don't pick up the phone to call me, that means that we got a one-sided relationship. So that means I have to pull back and start calling you. And that's the thing. It's like I think that is a very important thing that Leisha said. It's like what is it? Connect.
Oh, reciprocity. I think she's trying to
of energy. Exactly. Reception. If I'm excited about you, and I think that a lot of it starts when we were kids, especially for women. When we were girls and we met boys, and a boy would say, we exchanged phone numbers, and the girl would sit at the phone and be waiting, and we'd be like, okay, is he gonna call? Is he gonna call? Is he gonna call? Is he gonna call? And eventually we wind up calling, and what happens? Yeah, how you doing? Like you bothering him or something.
Or they don't answer.
So for me, you don't have too many times for me to call you and you don't answer. First of all, you don't answer me. I probably give you a couple of times. I'm not gonna call you. I'm very good at
but we're thinking in our world now, Vaughn, and I can actually go back to 20s. And it's not the same thoughts that we have from 20 to 50 and 60. The thoughts changed as we went on. And at this moment at 50, you're correct. At some point, how many times you going to get the hint that somebody ain't calling you and you're calling them over and over again? There's no response or no initiation. That reciprocity is serious.
Oh, yeah.
It has to be in all relationships. And people don't like to acknowledge it, but it does. At some point, I hate to do tit for tat. I hate to do that. Like, I'm one of them calling people. Like, unless my mind is all over the place, and we have been there, like when we're so engrossed. And I hate that when I get so self-consumed in what I'm doing and what's happening to me, that I lose focus. I have been there before. And that puts my friends and my cousins and everybody else in a disadvantage of saying, oh, she's bugging. She ain't calling me back. She ain't making no initiative. Sometimes we get there, but we shouldn't stay there. And with that in mind, the reciprocity has to be acknowledged, and it has to be current, and it has to be there. And if something is going wrong with your friendship, if it's a true friendship, we should be able to talk to that person. I'm gonna say that we should be able to talk to that person and tell them this not working. What's going on? And if they don't fix it, you might give them another chance, and then at that point, you just kind of back away a little bit.
LaShawn said, "Whoever you truly love, you definitely invest in that person." And I totally agree.
Yep.
And here's the thing. Leisha said you should always walk away when grace and love is no longer being served. And that is so true. I think that we just stay in it. We fall in it too quickly. We don't give it time. We don't give relationships time to develop, to see where the other person is, and to see if we are going to get that same energy. A lot of times we just go with it. And again, I'm not talking about just relationships, man and woman. I'm talking about even work environment. If I've been working, we always say 90 days. So it's funny because we do a 90-day evaluation on our staff. But also, I think that we should do a 90-day survey on whether or not I'm happy at this company, because when you walk in the door and I'm the new person coming on board and I'm feeling like the whole entire work environment is toxic, I have a right to say too, you checking me out, but I'm checking you out. If you supervisor, you don't speak, you walk in the room and everybody looking at you and you're like, okay, well, hey, how y'all doing? You're not getting that same energy. It may be that moment that you need to go home and say, hey, is this the work environment that I really want to work in? If you don't give it 2-3 years and now you're like, well, I've been miserable for 3 years. Now, I'm not going to be miserable for 3 years. I don't entertain misery. So for me, if I'm not happy, if I'm not fulfilled, then I have a right to say that, and I have a right to walk away, because
And you know what? Go ahead.
it takes your energy. It
And you're right.
steals your energy.
You're right. And I would say this, it's not just up to us to make that situation right. It's up to the administration, whoever is the hierarchy in that particular business, to set that what do you call it? The environments. They need to make sure that environment is a certain way, because I know that where I am now, my the person that's over all of us makes sure that she pushes out positive information, positive, encouraging little words and phrases and little pictures and little things. And she does things, and she's always checking on the environment in the community. You have to do that as a leader, because
Right.
if you don't, you will have a toxic environment and people will leave.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, even I can recall times in my life where I have tried to make, I've gone into maybe a sisterhood, church. I've gone into a church and tried to be, a part of a sisterhood. But if I don't get good vibes, I'm not the person. I'm just not. I'll tell you, I'm not the person, because for me, everything with my energy is what I look for. So if you can't greet me, if you can't, I remember one time telling, I was visiting this church, this ministry, and I went to the new members, and I met the pastor's wife, and she had asked me, she said, well, are you going to join? And I said, after you and I have lunch. And it was a mega church. And she was like, what? I said, yeah. I said, because I need to know what kind of energy I'm gonna get from you. Even though it's 10,000 people, I cannot just be a number. I have a right to see how you and I gonna vibe. And I think that we have a right to say that. A lot of times we stay in it because we think we have to, but if it's not natural, if it's not where, when you and I get together, we just having a good time and we vibing, I'm not gonna sit there and be miserable. I'm not. If I'm on the phone with you and we just breathing and we not having conversation, I promise you, I'm gonna get off the phone. I'm probably not gonna call you for a good minute, because that means we really have nothing to talk about. We not vibing, because
and you know what?
If I call you and you call me and we just sitting there, I'm not on the phone with you, just breathing. I don't have to do that.
Let's have a two-way conversation.
Right. That's crazy.
But you know what? I was just thinking about when you say not just intimate relationships, when you say male and female, not just intimate relationships, but just friendship relationships. And even like you said, family and church and everything, but friendship relationships, that is interesting. I'm a person that gives people a lot of grace, because I remember Alicia saying something about grace. And sometimes I think the grace is abused, and it causes people to take advantage. And then I have to learn when that's happening and to walk away before I get to a point that I'm coming out of myself and not being myself and who I am, and coming out of character. Because I did that same thing as well. Came out of character with a situation when I hated the fact that I came out of my character, because my character is not a person that gives up on a friendship that I feel like I've had like for 30 and 20 and 40 years, right? I try to stay with that. But then you get to a point when people are abusing because they know you so well. They know you so well, and they know that you're not normally that type to do that. And so it gets to a point that you're pushing somebody till I get pushed in the corner to cut off a friendship, go off, and come out of my character. And I think that's another thing when it comes to knowing the power to when to walk away before it gets there.
I totally agree. But I think that a large part of it too, Daphne, has to do with clear communication. Before we even set before we even go into any type of relationship, whether it be work, whether it be church, whether it be friendship, relationship, there needs to be clear communication on the expectations of the relationship. And I think that that's the biggest thing. Like I'm very clear on my communication because I demand communication. I do. I live off of it. I breathe it. If everything with me in my life is communication. So if we're not talking back and forth, you're talking to me, I'm talking to you, and we're getting along and we're vibing, I can't function because I have to know that we are communicating. All of this, like I see women and all of this name calling and all of that. And I had shared this with somebody. I said, I have never, ever in my life had a friendship where we call each other names. I don't know where that came from. You start calling me the B word and you start calling me the H word. We ain't friends because that's just not good
ethics. It's not
good communication. You know, that's not good relationship. It's not adult.
It's not adulting.
We don't. I've been married a few times. I ain't never called no man out his name. I'm not gonna call him the N word. I'm not gonna call him any of that because and this is the thing with me. When I start doing that, or if I think I'm going to
walk away,
that means I need to walk away because that means that I'm now really out of character because that's not something I do. You know, I'm going to always respect the person. Now, I don't have to like you. And if I find that I'm just not liking your ways, I will walk away so that we can go our separate ways and be peaceful. I'm never going to end a relationship with hostility. I'm just going to be like, this is not working. This is not a good relationship. It's not healthy. It's not mentally healthy for me. So I got to bounce. But for you to stay there and we calling each other names and we fighting every day and all that, I'm not doing that. I'm not. That's too much.
It is too much. Yeah, LaShawn
since they don't value you for who you are to them. And that is so true. A lot of times people, again, you go back to just friendships. If we got jealousy going on, you can't tell me I look nice. I can't tell you I look nice. Oh, you think you this, you think I don't operate in none of that. I never have. You know, it's like we should be able to be in a safe space where when we are doing something in whatever relationship we're doing it in, it is positive.
Yes.
And if I don't feel safe, then I don't need to be in it because people, they all of that, you think you cute, you think you this, you think you, and I'm like, well, why can't I think I'm cute? Why can't I think I'm great?
It's time to walk away. The power of walking away.
What's the problem? When you start saying negative things to me and this is the biggest thing with me. If you start downplaying, going against my self-esteem, I'm out the door.
Yeah.
I'm out the door. The negativity I can't do because you have some people, they'll try to tell you what you're not, or they'll say negative things.
Not doing what you are doing is wrong or whatever, right?
You know, that's where the attack of the self-esteem, I can't do it.
Yeah. Robin said, amen. She said, peace is worth it. And that's true, Robin. Peace is worth it. Thank you for joining us, Robin. Thank you. But you know, Vaughn, it's like, as we get older, we learn and we live and learn, right? And it's like some things I can't fathom. I can't believe that I actually kept going with some relationships, not like you said, just not intimate. We talking about friendships. Because I'm just that type of person sometimes. And I know you, I hear you when you say self-esteem. I hear you when you say boundaries. I hear you when you say that you value yourself and everything. And I hear everybody else. I had to grow in that area because I was one of those passive. I think it almost like a passive aggressiveness, a little bit of, oh, that's just them. And I just let it come on me and I'll just overlook it. But it was like, but that's not the way we handle things. I had to learn that I had to speak up, and which I didn't at the time, but I know that now. Speak up, and then don't let people just do whatever. And if it's a matter that you cannot make an agreement before you get to the point again that you're coming out of your character, learn to decide those two people when it's time to let it go and walk away, so you can still keep some of the relationship intact. Because you can do that as an adult. You can do that as an adult.
I think that too, you have to protect your mental, because a lot of times it messes with your mental. You know, they call it gaslighting, whatever you want to call it. You got to protect your mental. And sometimes people don't understand that. It's like they go after that. It affects you. We don't even realize how much it affects us when we allow those things to happen. But a lot of times it affects us mentally, because we begin to fear every time you talk to that person. Is she upset with me? Is he upset with me? What's wrong? Did I do something wrong? Especially those silent people, those people that say, when if you're not talking back, if you're not communicating me, and you ain't gonna be able to work. Because my thing is nothing like a silent person, because you don't know what they thinking. You don't know what that is the most irritating person.
It is irritating. And I understand we all process things differently. I get that, Bond. But what's so hard about a text saying, I can't handle this right now. Can we try to talk a little later because I don't want to blow up? Some kind of communication when you're knowing somebody, and you've been friends and you've been with these people. It's just a matter of communicating some form of fashion, and then we can put it on pause for a minute.
Right.
Don't just, like you said, gaslight or ignore me. How is that right? And makes that right? You're mad at whatever somebody didn't do or did, but you are turning around and ignoring them. How is that right? It went over my head with that. I thought it was crazy.
Well, I think that the thing is, it's growing. And now I'm gonna tell on myself, because I am a flighter. I've been known to flight, and I have gotten so much better in these last 3 years. I made, when I got married, I had to make a commitment that I was going to change that. And because it had gotten to the place, even when my children wanted to say something to me, the first thing they would say is, "Mom, don't shut down. Don't go silent." And I was like, okay, why do they say that? Well, because when we say something to you, you shut down. So I had to become aware of, I have to communicate. Just like you want people to communicate with you, Yvonne, you have to communicate with people.
Real adults.
Right. Exactly.
And so you're right. When it gets to the point that you're not respecting at all, like I don't understand the people that say that they're not respected and they think everything is going in a negative with the relationship with you, but yet they turn around and do some of the same or crazier things.
Yeah. Communication is definitely the key. I feel, in any relationship. If the communication is not there, trust me, the relationship is going to be toxic, because it's not, you got to have definite two-way feedback. It's got to be, I talk to you, you talk to me. I talk to you, you talk to me. And if you don't have that, and it's one person talking and the other person is not, then we're not getting anywhere. And then it's that other thing of, the manipulation thing.
Oh, yes.
A lot of that comes into play. I'm manipulating this relationship.
Right.
No, those are the toxic relationships that people need to walk away from. If you meet a guy and if he got good intentions, when I was dating, if you say you're going to call me and you don't call me, I promise you I'm not going to call you. But if you said you was going to call me and then you turn around and you like, you call me a week later or you call me 2 weeks later or whatever, you are already setting the tone of how this relationship is going to go. So and then I'm going to have to cut you off, because that means that I'm not important. Right. I'm not important. And the relationship that I thought that you're trying to build, or we should be trying to build, we're not building that relationship. So, I all the way down to, I feel like in a real relationship, whether it's marriage or you're in an intentional relationship, nobody should ever have to coach the other person on treating the other person right. Right. It should be consideration. You let my husband go and get him something to eat and don't give me something to eat.
I know. This ain't a balanced relationship here, boo.
Oh,
Like I tell my
I
friend
go vice
DJ all
versa.
the time, DJ, don't come in here. And well, not I won't say come in here because I might not have been home, right? But don't do this. If you live in a house and you know everybody at home, like I'm at home, you at home, and you order something, can you ask me if I want something to eat? I didn't ask you to pay for it. Ask me if I want
That's
something.
right. You ask. You
If you
ask him. No,
walk away,
if you going in the room to get you something to drink,
don't give
you
me
should
that.
ask me. Do I want that? That all of those things, the actions is what shows you that a person cares. If I'm choking and you're not asking me why I'm choking,
You don't care. You don't care.
I'm serious.
You don't care.
I'm literally, oh girl, I'm taking this picture. I'm on TikTok, but I'm over here and I'm dying. I think that that's a problem. Richie Carter said, my nail lady told me if nobody talks, nobody hears. If both of you talk, only your neighbor hears.
What's that mean, Richie?
I
Hey,
don't know
Richie,
what that
thank you
means.
for joining us. Richie, elaborate for me because we kind of like, okay, wait a minute. My nail always told me if nobody talks, nobody hears. Okay, that's true. That's communication, right? Both ways communication. The part I'm confused on is if both of you talk, only your neighbors hear. So that means you're fussing and arguing at each other because nothing's getting really heard. Is that what that means?
Yeah.
I think so. But let me
Yeah.
know if I'm right, Richie. But thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. So we're talking about the power of walking away.
So my question is, what does walking away look like? Do we walk away in love, or do we walk away in anger? How do we walk away?
That's the thing. Like I said, I had a situation and I walked away in anger with a relationship that I am so hurt still about because I'm more hurt because it didn't have to end up like that. Okay. And
Okay.
I feel like I was pushed there under emotional distress at the moment. And
Okay.
I've never done that before. Okay. And so, and not a sense of like cutting it off, like, oh, I'm done. That's it. But I was like, after I sat down, of course, and thought about it, I was like, oh, that didn't have to go that way. When you know somebody so long, it doesn't have to go that way. You can be adults in a situation and still agree to back away a little bit. You know what I mean?
I think that it doesn't have to be verbally, but I think sometimes we need to evaluate the relationship. Like I constantly, I remember when I first got married, I would ask my husband, how we doing? How do you think we're doing? Just to touch base on, are we good? It's the same thing at work. I touch base with my staff. I do not assume anything. I do not assume because I'm beautiful and great that everybody think I'm beautiful and great. So I do what you call one-on-ones, and I pull them aside and I ask them, what's working, what's not, because for me, that lets people know that you value whatever the relationship is. If you just assuming that we good, what are we not good? And then I go a step further. I always ask, I don't deal with the love thing because I realize that love is love. I can love you, but do you like me? Hey, are you still liking me? Am I still, because a lot of times it is not the love, it's the like. It's the, I don't like those ways. I don't like what you do that causes me to fall out with you. It causes the relationship to be toxic. It has nothing to do with the love. And then sometimes it's the relationship goes toxic because we're trying so hard to please the other person.
That's what I think I was doing unconsciously. That the person didn't know it because I never communicated that. That's what that communication piece that you said, Vaughn, is so bad. I think I was missing a big piece of that.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to take some ownership because I'm one person that believes that when you have a relationship with anybody, it's not you, it's us. I have a part, you have a part, we have a part. And so I do not like to point the fingers only at one person. I point it right back at myself. And I know that I could have done some things differently with all the different relationships that I let go on too long and didn't have the power to walk away. And so at this point, I realized communication, when you hit that, that is such a valid key, a huge key. I think that you're right. When you first start relationships, if you start that communication piece right away and continue it, like almost make it a part of your relationship. Hey guys, we're friends. We don't want this friendship to go crazy. Can we keep this communication piece going? Like, let's make sure we touch base with each other. Some things, not always criticizing, but just touch base and see if how we are. Let's take the temperature of the relationship every now and then, so because we value that person, we value that friendship. And I think that's a big piece that we need to definitely implement so that we won't have to walk away.
And I think that there is that piece too, where, if I'm feeling bad all the time, the relationship is just making me feel like something is just off. It's just off.
Nothing's happy.
You need to really, really be like, okay, is something wrong here? Again, I'm just one of those people. I communicate so much, and I feel like people, they don't want to say you hurt my feelings. They don't want to say, you shouldn't have. I don't think that you should have said that. Or why do you always put me down? Why do you always criticize me?
Honest.
Why do you always, and I think somebody said that a lot of times it's jealousy, because if I can't find positive words to say about you, I need to check myself. Why you ever go somewhere and you look good. You put your outfit on and you're feeling great, you're looking great. You're like, okay, I got my hair done. And you walk into the room, and whether you going out with your friends or you going out with your dude, and you don't get a compliment.
That's crazy.
It's like, and it's not that I need it. It's just that I'll ask because I'm so quick to say, hey, you look great. Oh, that looks nice. That's me. This is what people say. Well, you should be able to tell yourself you look great.
Yeah, come on now. Everybody wants to hear a compliment every now and
then. Or if you accomplish something, like if you call me and you tell me, hey, I just got an award, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's good. That's good.
That's good.
And it's like you're right, as women, especially women and African American women, I think we're doing better though with the compliment and the better of being in tune with one another and supporting and encouraging one another, so that we don't get in these relationships, these toxic relationships that have to have power to walk away. I think we're doing better at that. I do. I try to be more conscientious of that because I'm not living in a bubble. I'm not living by myself. It's not all about me.
But even in relationship, I would look at my husband crazy if he came home and he didn't give me love and affection, because he's loving and affectionate. So I would think so. I would automatically, okay, what did I do? What's wrong? What's going on with you? Because that is something I don't need it, but that's something that I feel like that should be a part of your relationship. We're cousins. We don't live together. You're in another state. So there's no possible way when we get together, we ain't gonna give each other no hug. I'd be like, you just walk in the room and not give me a hug. That ain't right. So it's like, you gotta think about these things when we talk about toxic relationships, because a lot of it is just things that make us feel some type of way. It's like, why are you treating me this way? Why are you acting this way? I'm feeling some bad vibes towards you. So, let's talk about it. And if it ain't right, it ain't right. I have a right to say it's not right. I don't feel like the energy is good in the room.
Right. LaShawn Arnold says, sometimes we hold on to relationships longer than they are meant to be. And that is so true.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes they're for reasons, seasons, blessings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. And Sean, I mean, have you ever been in that situation? Have you ever been in that situation with a friendship or a relationship that you were in there too long? I'm wondering, Richie, um, Robin, Lee, anybody that was on, did you have that situation? Share. I
Well,
hear
I think that we all have in some shape or form, whether again it be work or whatever. I think that it's something Lee said though, when it starts
it serves it.
messing with you emotionally
Mhm.
and is just not right, you gotta make a decision that, do I stay here?
Mhm.
No matter what people say. I remember um times of leaving the church and they were like, oh, you don't leave church, you're church hopping. No, if what is here is
It's
not
not feeding my spirit.
edifying me, I have I'm not, I tell people in a minute, I'm not being held hostage. Okay.
Mm-mm.
I'm not a hostage victim. I have the right to say, I am not happy here. I'm not satisfied here. I am not whatever. I can go. I can go find some. And here's the thing that people don't realize: when you do it, it's a freedom that comes over you. You
Mhm.
take back your power. You take back your freedom. You it's like you're so weighted down when you're in these relationships and
Mhm.
you're sitting there and every day it's like, oh my God, I can't believe and I've been there. I have been
Mhm.
there. I have been in so many toxic relationships to where I've been depressed. I've
Mhm.
walked around sad. I'm crying. I'm listening to all the sad songs. I'm
It
like,
affects it. It
and
affects
then
it.
I'm just like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I shouldn't do.
I think we, you know what, Vaughn, you just made me think of something. I think sometimes we do the saving syndrome too. I mean, I don't know,
Oh yeah.
LaShawn, what do you think about that when we're trying to save somebody? I think
Oh
I've even been in that situation. You're trying to save somebody, so that's why you stay and don't walk away. You think you
yeah.
can save them. You
Uh,
know, it's like, oh, I can
I'm
fix them. I can fix them.
yeah. I think that may be a large part of why we don't let go. If I let go, that person, what is that person going to do? Especially when it comes
So
to
I
our
gave up.
children.
I gave
Because
up.
I'm going to tell you something, your family members, you could be in a toxic relationship with your family members, your children, they're not exempt, your parents. That doesn't
When
mean,
do you let go your children? Do you let go your children? Oh Lord,
thank you. And I'm going to share
that's a
this
big one.
because I think that a lot of, especially women, they struggle with that. They deal with it. They deal with it. They deal with disrespect. They deal with their kids, not valuing who they are, throwing things up in their face. I'm gonna tell you, my kids know I don't play. I do not play. You're not gonna throw my pass up in my face. You're not gonna.
Mhm.
You're just not. Either we're gonna be. And I have walked away. I have left them alone. If you're in your feelings,
That's why I said sometimes you got to put a pause on it, but
yeah,
that's a hard one to walk away from your child. But sometimes you need that power to what? Walk away.
you have to do it because your adult children have a tendency to hold you hostage to your whatever they thought you should have did in their life. So you
Mhm.
have to put a pause on it until they get
Mhm.
themselves together. And normally they do. Normally they'll get to the place, there's
Eventually,
a
yeah.
scripture that says when if you train them, then they're not going to depart from that. They're going to come
We'll
back. But
temporarily put a pause on it, but they'll be back.
exactly. It says, yes, we are trying to save them, but they aren't trying to save themselves. You, you out here drowning. Exactly. You going
Trying to
out
say,
in the deep. You
oh,
done
no,
jumped.
all
I
these
love
things.
it. You jumped in the water. Let me tell
So
you
true,
something.
LaShawn.
You will jump in the water and they on
Barely making it. And they filing their nails and doing the backstroke, and you drowning.
exactly. And you drowning. You like,
Walk away.
you're not even in the water, and I done jumped in the water to save you. That's exactly how it
Yeah,
is. And then we're
yeah,
just like, how did I get here? A lot of times, people will put you on that guilt trip, and then
yeah.
now you sitting there and you like,
So how do we find the power to walk away, Vaughn? That's the key. When you if you're not conscientious of what's happening, you don't have that power because you don't even know. Most of the time you don't know, or people are telling you and you are in denial.
I think that comes from
that
you
power to
being,
walk away.
I think that comes with being in tune with yourself. That comes with growth, because just like you need to, like you said, check the temperature in the relationship, you need to be checking the temperature in yourself, with yourself. You know, when you do a self-check, self-checks are needed. I do self-checks with everything, work, relationship, children, everything, because a lot of times people don't want to do the self-check so they can figure out, okay, what's going on with me? Did you hear her say that? And I let her. And I'm going, why did I let her say that? You see what I'm saying? It's like you do the self-check.
Self-reflection.
You got to do that self-check for yourself so you can go, okay, I'm healthy enough to be in this relationship. That's why I don't believe that people should go in relationships until they're whole, because a lot of times we will bring those toxic people in our lives and we got a whole lot of stuff going on. That person is going to run heaven in your life.
It should be 100% to the table of the relationship. Not
right. If a person can downplay you or tell you to shut up or yell and scream at you or whatever, you need to
don't value you, put you first, give you the energy you need, give you the attention you need. It's okay for me to want this attention from you. We're friends.
Exactly.
Or we're intimate friends. LaShawn said, no, you need to put a period on it and pause and put them in God's hands. I heard that.
I surely agree.
I heard that.
When you get tired of being in the emotional roller coaster, and that's exactly
the question I had.
I think about so many times, even when I was younger and I was in a toxic relationship, and I would, I'm leaving. And we go
idle threats. Back and forth. And get the power to walk out.
And away. The thing is, when I think about the movie, I don't know if everybody saw it, the movie, Beauty in the Black, or the one where with Megan Good. And I like what she said. You're not dealing, because a lot of times too, people, if we allow them to stay in our life, they treat us like they did when they first met us, and not realizing that we done grew, that we done matured in this thing. And so when she said, I am not the 20-year-old or the 30-year-old that I used to be. So what I used to put up with, I don't put up with anymore. And that's the key thing.
So I think you know better, you do better. You know better, you do better.
So a lot of times people go off of, well, I used to be able to say this. I used to be able to do, yeah, you did, but not no more. And, and I think that is the biggest thing. Jennifer said, you also get over the mindset, I've invested too much time to let someone else reap the reward. That is a good one. Because a lot of times we'll go, well, I ain't gonna here we go. I don't want you, but I don't want nobody else to have it. I didn't invest it, and I know if you go and get with somebody else, you're gonna act right.
Walk away. Find that power.
Because here's my thing. I don't want to hold on to somebody else's blessing.
No, I don't want to hold on to nothing that doesn't serve me.
And I'm not your blessing, and you not mine, then I'll release you. If I really honestly and truthfully think about it, you holding on to something that a person, they just don't want to change. They just don't want to, they not going to change for you. So you release them. You can't get mad if they gonna get with somebody else and they change. What was that movie, Acrimony? The whole time they was married, he trying to build an invention, and then she got mad, and now you done went to kill the brother, you know, went to kill the new, because now you in your feelings. But the problem was she held on for 20 something years of madness, you know, when she should have let go. Really, she should have let go when he cheated on her. But so now you just went really crazy.
I got a question, Von. Do you think, I wish Richie was on here, another gentleman or something. Do men struggle as much as women? Because I'm just going to say this, and I have not looked up the statistics, but I'm going to say I feel, and I only can go on me, I think that it seems like women, because we're so emotional creatures for the most part, more struggle with that power of walking away from a situation or a person than a man. Do you think that? Do you think that is? I wish a man could come on and share their thoughts about that. Do they feel?
I think so. I think so, because I think that men, I know a lot of men that stay in toxic relationships as well. As a matter of fact, I think women are more prone to leave than a man will.
Yeah, but I don't think when it comes to friendships, a man has that same situation, because most of the time they don't have toxic relationships with their.
Well, men, when you talk about friendships, I don't think men struggle in that area as much, because the dynamics is different. You know, it's a man thing. You know, men don't get emotionally attached. We're emotional. So, you know, it's more of a man thing. You know,
they're emotional, but not as much as us. Yeah.
Right. Because I know guys, they can be without friends. They don't have to have women need, for some reason, need friendships, but men don't, they don't roll like that. I think on the flip side, in their female relationships, they do. I think that they tend to stay longer than they need to. Jennifer said, okay, real question. Do you condone staying together for the kids' sake? I do.
Absolutely. I'd say absolutely.
You say you do?
Absolutely. And I'm saying this to say that if it's not abusing me in a sense of physical, mental abuse, I might be emotionally disturbed because I'm not on the same page with that person, if I'm married or with that person. But I can stay for the kids' sake. I will say yes.
I'm gonna say no.
When they're young.
I'm gonna say that if it is, now it depends on the relationship. If it is not affecting me mentally and emotionally, then yes. But if it's to the place where now we're talking about toxic,
we're arguing, we cussing.
So if we're arguing, we can't get along. We're in the house. We're not talking. We're not trying to keep the relationship, fix the relationship. Then I say you need to walk away, because here's the thing:
get that power to walk away.
The energy is going to go towards the children, and
the kids gonna pick up on it. You know that.
So if we're you know, there are always going to be times in a relationship where it's kind of iffy. You know, I'm
gonna have your roller coaster ups and downs sometimes, because that's life.
But we still should love each other enough to
respect,
go in our little corners, you know, get over our feelings and bring it back together. Now, if you can't do that, if there's just totally, because I've known people to be together. I actually knew a couple that they had the young children. They divided the house. I'm not dividing the house. I'm not having it where you got the yellow tape and you living on this side and I'm living on this side. This is not going to happen. You know, if it's gotten to that place where we're not talking, we're not bonding, we're not relating, we're not trying to build the relationship, and I just can't bear being around you, we need to go our separate ways.
We need to have the power to walk away. We need to have you have to have the common sense to have the power to walk away. And I agree with that. But if it's doable, if it's going to benefit everybody in an emotional way that you can get through it until the kid get, older. I think it can be done. And maybe something like you said will turn around and you guys will work on it with therapy or a love coach or a relationship coach or whatever the case may be. That maybe that situation, that relationship will change. I'm not just saying sit in it. I'm saying do some proactiveness to get that relationship a little
Exactly.
bit solid.
Exactly.
Here's another one, Ron.
Women used to stay in relationships no matter what, but times have changed. Women aren't not putting up with foolishness like that. And again, I totally agree. Times have changed. We do have a right to say I don't like the way this relationship is going, but I go back to communication. Because I'm going to always say, how did we get here? It should never get to the 5th year, the 6th year, the 7th year. It starts in the first, second, third year of any relationship. Once it's bad, and it's hard to grab it back. So you gotta constantly be communicating when you see it's going bad. Do you condone staying together for the sake of financial stability? What if a person would be left with nothing? Okay, well, I'm gonna say I have been that person. Now, I'm probably not the person. Well, I am that person because it's like this. I have enough confidence in myself. Well, I know I bounce back. I'm never going to stay with somebody for any reason other than love, respect, because I really value you and I like you and I want you in my life. I'm not going to stay with anybody because of financial anything, because I've walked away with 4 kids. I'm like, you can go, bounce, go. I'm just that person. I don't feel like it should have anything to do with, now I feel like you should have a plan. I don't think that you just want to walk out the door, not know that you being abused. But I think that if it's toxic, you should never put yourself in that situation where you feel like you got to stay with the person because of anything other than love.
That's the thing. That's the word that you use, the toxicness. And see, I kind of teeter-totter on that whole thing because I know Sean was saying that women used to do that all the time and now they don't put up with the foolishness now. And you're right, they did used to do that. And I'm gonna say that I think I'm capable of doing that, but I don't know if it's always beneficial. So in some cases it could be, in some cases it could not be. You have to just kind of weigh that out and know who you're dealing with before you decide to have the power to walk away.
I think that again, it depends on your mental stability. I'm a relational person. So for me to live in the house with my husband just for comfort, or I don't want to let go because I don't want to be poor, or I don't want to be on the street, that wouldn't work for me because I'm very relational. I'm a person that I operate off a relationship. I look forward to talking to him. I look forward to us communicating. I look forward to.
But Vaughn, if you're trying to work that through, you might go through that hump for a year, of push and pull, push and pull. That's the part I'm talking about. I think that part is doable.
Oh, absolutely.
Irrational and just have the power to walk away.
Oh no, I totally agree on that. But I'm talking about when it gets to the place, because we go back to, you have people that are in relationships for 5, 6, 7, 10 years. You got folk getting counseling and they've been married for 20 years. I'm not going to be married to you and we getting counseling after 20 years.
After 20 years, we should be good.
Yeah, 10 years. 10 years. I'm 10 years.
15. I'll give it 15. If you get through 15.
No, I'm gonna tell you, if you with me for 10 years, we good.
You ain't going nowhere.
You ain't no. Because the thing about it is, you should know me and I should know you. Like I literally, and I think that it has to do with maturity, and I think it has to do with age too. Because I think that sometimes when I remember when I was younger, I used to nitpick about a lot of stuff. It's stuff that I used to just go off on, that I think about now. that it don't even faze me. Because I be thinking if I went off on
that now. Yeah.
Right. I don't care if you make the bed. I don't care if you leave the bed messy. I don't care if you leave the bed.
That's right. Some things are just not worth
It's
messing
just
up your
not.
peace
It's
in your
like,
relationship.
if you forget to tell me I look good, you know what? I'm okay. I just don't trip over the stuff that I used to trip over because it's not worth it.
You know what else? You know what else, Vaughn? We need to make sure we know what we want too. Because if we know what we want, we won't have to exercise the power to walk away. If we know what we need, if we really be confident in that and seek the information we need to have that relationship, like you said, the communication piece and all that stuff, we won't have to have a power to walk away.
That is so true. And I think that goes back to, that's what I said. You got to do a self-check. Mm-hmm. You got to understand who you are and be honest. Sometimes we get with people because of whatever. And we not really honest with what type of person do I need in my life. Exactly. The world says that, you got to get a man that's like this, and this. No, is that going to be the person that you need for you? So it doesn't become toxic. And I think that that's with friendships and anything. It's like, we go into this whirlwind of relationships and we be with people, and it's like, do I really, like, I love the question that a lot of companies ask, what kind of working environment are you successful in? What kind of supervisor do you like? See, that's letting me know that you care about what, because if I tell you that I need a supervisor that communicates with me, and I'm a bottom line, I'm straight, you ain't got to tiptoe around my feelings. If I'm not doing it, then tell me. If I need to improve, then tell me, because that's the type of person I am. I'm not going to be in my feelings because you say something. At the same time, if I'm telling you this is what type of person that I like, and this is the kind of working environment I like, and it's not like that, you're wrong for bringing me on board, because you knew I wasn't going to
Don't give me false information.
Don't give me a representative. Don't do it. Don't make it seem like you're going to come here and I'm going to have a wilderness experience and I'm miserable. It's the same thing in a relationship. If I'm communicating with you that this is the type of relationship that I'm looking for, I need a person to talk to me. If you don't talk to me, oh my God, we got a problem, Houston, because I'm going to walk away, because I thrive off of communication. Jennifer said, okay, situation. You made up your mind you want to leave your spouse. Before you can, you find out this person now is terminal illness. They need your medical benefits and support. Do you still leave?
It depends on what would Jesus do?
Right, let me read that again.
It depends, Vaughn. It depends on the relationship you have with that person. I'm gonna say this: if it was a toxic relationship and you've been abused, I don't think I could stay there. But I would probably keep them on my benefits. Now, if it's somebody that I've known for a long time, we've been in a relationship for years, there was a disconnect, we couldn't irreconcilable differences, and we can't stay together, I would not leave. But either way, I would give them my benefits. I would definitely do that. That's not a big deal. Family package is family package. I got one, I got 5, 10, 20. I don't know how you feel.
No. I have to agree with you. If it's toxic, I'm out. I don't care if you're sick or not.
Yeah. You're going to abuse me when you're sick.
Right. You can have them benefits, but I'm sorry. I'm not going to stay with you, and you, because it's like this. You're not going to be sick now, and I got to take care of you, and you abusive. Then I'm gonna be like that chick on the Diary of a Mad Black Woman and dump your butt in the tub.
LaShawn says something. You got to want the relationship. One person can't keep no relationship because you will lose yourself trying to keep it. She said something else too. A mate can only enhance you, and she said not complete.
I like that. That's true.
That's a good note to go on. I love it. The power of knowing when to walk away.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, that's with anything. You know, walking away is definitely knowing that when it's affecting you, when it's affecting your life, it's affecting your peace. That's the key thing. I live off of peace. My house
Okay,
has
just
to
say,
be
I'm
peaceful.
sorry.
I got to be able to come home and live with you, like you. You come to my house, you know we love each other, because you know we the cuddle couple. You know
Yeah, the
we
game couple.
we love to be in each other's company. It's quiet up in here. We're not fighting and throwing
Right,
things and having
right,
fits and all of that.
right.
So when it starts interfering with your peace, your joy,
Yes,
and your mental,
yes,
you gotta go. That's the three things.
yes.
When I no longer can be peaceful in this relationship, then and it's taking me out.
And have a free mind.
You
I'm
you
living my
gotta you
freedom,
you
living
gotta
life.
walk away. And
Yeah.
I think that that's where it ends with me. Um I encourage people, because I know that, and this is for real, I know that when we talk about toxic relationships, there's some relationships that's just not good. But then
Right.
there's those relationships, and I do want to say this,
You get help.
in this time and season, I know for a lot of women especially, they're afraid to walk away. They're afraid that Jennifer brought out some really good points, but you don't stay with somebody because of the children or because of financial
No,
stability,
you
and you're
don't.
in an abusive relationship.
Right.
If it's that toxic, I encourage you to get some help, to walk away, find that safe space. There's a lot of shelters out there, but
Yes.
do not stay in toxic relationships when your life is on the
On the
line.
line. Yeah.
You
And
know,
definitely not just that. If you have a close person, someone that you can confide in, try to get them to help you help yourself.
exactly.
Yeah, because sometimes we
Exactly.
can't do what we can do by ourselves. We need of course, we need God, but we need somebody sometime that God puts in our sight to help us. So
Absolutely.
get that person, and they will help you. Because you're right, toxic relationships are not someplace we need to be. And
And
so,
know that you deserve better.
right, and you're loved
You're
by.
worth it. You're worth it.
Don't do it.
Well,
You got preach, girl, and then Jennifer saying it's okay to stay with someone who I was only cheated on you one time.
Jennifer, we got 5 minutes, and
It,
then we
it,
gonna
that's another thing, Vaughn. It's up to the individual what they want to do. How much do you love this person, and can you forgive that person and not feel like you want to walk away? If you're going to sit up there and think about it, you probably need counseling as well. But if you're going to sit up there and think about it, accuse them, keep doing that, it ain't going to work. That's toxic too.
Well, I also would flip it and say, if that person is a repeated offender,
She said one time.
one time, I'm not going to say that's toxic. I'm going to say that it is up to you whether or not you can forgive that person. But if that person is a
That's what
repeated,
I'm not talking about. That's not toxic. You're right. I was talking about if the person that they cheated on, are accusing them and
oh yeah, if you
watching them,
can't
we
forgive,
become
then you
toxic.
do need to walk away. You do. You need to
Right,
walk away.
walk away because
If you're gonna bring it up, forever and ever and ever and
then it
ever,
ain't gonna work.
then you need to let it go.
You get that
You need
counseling. If that doesn't work,
Yeah.
you got to blow out. You got to
Yeah,
work because you're not going to be able to live like that. It's just going to be a toxic relationship at some point.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Vaughn, good advice. Definitely, guys, have the power to walk away if it's needed.
Exactly.
Have that power.
So everybody, you have been watching. It is actually 3 cousins, but tonight it's been 2. Lee's been kind of giving her input though, but we miss you, Lee.
We love
Hope you feel better soon, and we love you. I think the next time you see us, it will be we're scheduled Christmas Day. So I don't know.
We are.
We may. Is it Christmas Eve? No.
Wednesday. Today is Hump Day Wednesday. I love it.
Yeah. So in 2 weeks,
it is the 25th. It is
Yeah.
the 25th. It is the 25th.
So we may have to get on just to do a little, holiday special and all of that. And we have some little treats and stuff for you guys. So stay
Thank you for
tuned.
joining us, though. We appreciate it. Great conversation. Great topic.
Great
Vaughn.
conversation. We have been talking about the power of walking away, and we are the Cousins for Life. So we care every other Wednesday, and those our schedules have to change it, but we do air at 8 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and 7 o'clock Central Time. So until then, I know everybody is doing some shopping. Y'all drink some eggnog and all that great stuff. This is a great time for family. Hey, everybody, build
cupping season. Be careful. No,
get out of those toxic relationships and get around some good relationships. But until then, we love you so much, Lee. Yeah. We miss you. Hugs and kisses. And remember, until the next time, we are
the Cousins for
Wait.
Because I can't do it. I can't do it without Lee. I need Lee here.
Yeah, because we'll be backwards. And she's always the one to get it right. But it's okay.
Yeah. Where's your L? Just do your L. L is crooked, as always. I'm doing two signs, and she can't do the one, Lee. She can't do the one. God, poor Lord.
I'm sorry. I can't get it right. This is a problem. I'm going to have my grandkids teach me how to do it, and then I'll get back on here and do it. But we love y'all. Y'all have a great rest of the week. And, if you want to continue to make comments on our page, we also encourage you to like and share. And we have our own Cousin for Life page. So go on there, like and share. Share with your friends. Let them know that we out there. We got some great things coming up in 2025. So get ready. All right. Where we're going. Love you, Daphne.
All right.
Love you, Lee.